Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and I thought today let's go ahead and take a break from competitive Yu-Gi-Oh for a second and take a look at one of the new decks coming out. Well, not new decks, but a more revamped decks that we're getting structured on this upcoming Friday, I believe. It's gonna be the 24th as set drops. We're looking at the Traptrix structure deck, guys. I forgot what the actual deck is called, but Traptrix actually a pretty cool deck. I'm not a deck that personally had hands-on experience playing in the past, but it's got some new support with the new structure deck. Actually, some really phenomenal reprints in here as well. Ash Blossom is here, Evenly Matched is here, Raigeki is in here, Harpy's Feather Duster is here. A lot of fantastic reprints, and you actually get the entire extra deck for Traptrix in this structure deck, which I think is actually absolutely crazy. I think it's probably one of the most complete structure decks you're ever going to need to make a competitive deck of that archetype that has ever been released, and that's absolutely just so true. Just so true. I mean, even with the, let's say, Soul Burner structure deck, you need to go ahead and buy a few bits and pieces here and there. With the Dino Smasher's Fury, you still need to buy a few pieces here and there. With the Albaz structure deck, really all you got was Brand Fusion and Fallen of Albaz, and the rest was garbage that you need to go ahead and buy these other cards for. So with this, is actually the very complete deck, and I actually want to go and show you guys what the deck will look like if you just put 3 of the structure decks together and go ahead and make as viable a competitive deck as possible. For without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it with this deck profile. I'm really excited for it, guys. Let's go. Alright, guys, so we are here with the Traptrix deck. Now, of course, the physical deck has not actually released yet, but we do have YGO Pro to help us out with this deck profile. So we're going to go ahead and start it off. Again, some really cool cards in here. We're going to start off with one of the new imports, I should say, from the structure deck. It's going to be Traptrix Pudica, which is a interesting name, but we're gonna go ahead and leave it at that. I think they're actually named after like flowers or something, or something else, but you know, I don't really read too much into that stuff. But basically what she does is she is a searcher for your new field spell, Traptrip Garden, which is actually really interesting. There's a lot more diversity with the names here. I guess they used to be called Traptrix, but then they called it something else. So it's a little weird, I guess, to not have it be as broken, but I digress. So basically what she does, she allows you to go ahead and search the field spell for the deck. The field spell for the deck is going to be Traptrip, I should say, Garden, which gives you an additional normal summon during your main phase, which is really good. So go ahead and make sure you're actually able to combo off and go into your Xyz plays and Link plays as well. We are still on 3 copies of Traptrix Marmilio. Pretty much the standard for all cards. This searches you a whole normal trap card from your deck to your hands. They're pretty standard as far as that goes. I'm on 3 Mantis as well, guys. We want to make sure we're adding the right Traptrix monsters from a deck to our hand. Also, this is now a combo piece to be paired up with the new, again, monster that we are getting out of the structure deck, which is going to be Traptrix Arachnocampa, but she's actually a really phenomenal extender. So basically, if you control a Traptrix monster, you can quick effect special summon this card from your hand. So really good. You also cannot special summon monster from the X trap, except for insect and plant type monsters, but that's perfectly fine because that's pretty much all that's going to be in the X deck anyway. So we are good to go with this. So a really phenomenal and key piece to the Traptrix strategy. Really like this card as well. And then we play 2 copies of the Dinoya. Pretty much going to be, guys, your main deck monster reborn for the deck, pretty much allowing you to target any Traptrix monster in your graveyard, special summon for free, again, to be able to go further into your extra deck plays. I played 2 copies of Vesicolo. Sorry, these names are so weird to me. So 2 copies of Vesicolo. So I really like Vesicolo because it allows you to access, again, your rank 4 engine in your extra deck really easily by being able to special summon her for free, as long as you send a set trap you control to the graveyard, and then getting another forms of the recursion as well, being able to target trap, pull normal traps in your graveyard, and set them directly to your field to be reset and reused all over again. So really phenomenal card. And as I said before, Ash Blossom does get reprinted in this structure deck, guys, which is really wild to think about. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd structure deck that Ash Blossom gets reprinted in, which for me, thank goodness. I mean, the card was absolutely wildly expensive for the longest time now. So we definitely need more and more Ash Blossom reprints, and just make it easier for new players to come into the game and really just have fun with it. Ash Blossom actually is probably the best hand trap in the current format, just because they're able to stop Branded Fusion in its tracks, Kashtira Theosis, Kashtira Fenrir, or Unicorn. All the Kashtira cards are going to be stopped by this. You can also stop a lot of cards in the Sprite matchup and the Labyrinth matchup. It's so generic. It's so good. It can stop so many decks right in their tracks. I think Ash Blossom is definitely mandatory 3-up, especially if you're getting it included in the structure deck as well. But that's gonna be it for the monsters, guys. Now on to the spells. We're starting off with the spells. We played 3 copies of the Traptrix Allure, or the Trap Tantalizing Tune. So you discard a level 4 insect or plant type monster or 1 normal trap, and then you get to draw 2 cards. So automatically you're already getting Allure Darkness effect, which of course is why it was called Traptrix Allure. Not sure why they changed the name, but I guess it has to do with 2-2 synergetic. Probably for Konami. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster as well. Again, it comes in the structure deck for it being the 41st card in the deck. I do want to have at least some type of going second, because the deck is already really good going first. Don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal going first. Because you have, again, additional extenders, so many easy ways to go ahead and access your extra deck as well, being able to have a load of phenomenal whole trap cards in your main deck as well. So you just need some going second cards real here, guys. So Harpy's Feather Duster is actually really good as well, because a lot of decks now are ending with cards set face down, whether it is Cashier to find some ways to go ahead and protect its board, whether it's Solemn Judgment or whatever it might be. So it forces the activation. If you're going to be playing against, Fluandries is still a deck for some reason. If you're going to be playing up against Labyrinth, of course, a huge back row hit. Just go ahead and wipe out the entire board, which makes it just a high tier above the competitive level as well. Next, we have 2 copies of the Field Spell. We did talk about this earlier, so basically gives you an additional normal summon as well. It does allow you to special summon Traptrix monster from your hand or a graveyard as well, which is nice. But let's go ahead and be real here. Getting that additional normal summon is going to be super clutch. I did not play that 3 because unfortunately it does not search on activation, which if it did, this card would be absolutely nuts. So I'm still on the fence about picking these decks up. I mean, they look fun. They look like it'd be really cool to go ahead and use at definitely the local level. I don't know about high, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I'm already dissecting it when we're still in the profile. Let's go ahead and finish out the profile, and then I'll get you my thoughts. So then we go to the trap cards, guys. We had 2 copies of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, 3 copies of Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Some people play this at 1 or 2. First of all, you are playing Trap Trick, so all of your trap cards should be at a minimum of 2, just so you can go ahead and search out whatever it is that you need. So I just think that's common sense, personally. So Gravedigger's Trap Hole, actually a phenomenal card. So basically, whenever your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand, graveyard, or one of their banished cards activate the effects. I'm looking at you, Despia. So this actually negates it and burns them for 2,000 damage. I think this is going to be a phenomenal card. I think playing this specifically at less than 3 is a mistake. Activating Long Yuan in hand, great. Activate Gravedigger Trap Hole, negate, and take 2,000. Done. So just being able to do things like that, I think is really cool. So many cards activate in hand and on field as well. So unfortunately, we don't have something like Imperm because it didn't come in the structure deck, but we can still add things to this as well. That's what I love about the structure deck, is that it has such a good foundation for it that you really don't need to buy external Traptrix cards. You just need to add to it in order to make it as consistent and as good as you wanted to make it as well. Adding cards like Pot of Prosperity, adding cards like Imperm, adding cards like Nibiru in this, some more going second cards as well. Just consistency cards also really be helpful for the strategy. But anyway, 2 copies of Floodgate Trap Hole, 2 of the new trap card. We got Traptrix Holuti. These is really testing my my vocabulary skills. So basically, let's go ahead and read this card together. It is a brand new card. So when you activate this card this turn, you can activate this card this turn. It was set by discarding a normal trap from your hand. So that's also really good. You can immediately go ahead and activate it. You get to special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster. Level 4, 400 attack, 2400 defense. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target 1 Traptrix monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Already really good, giving you that recursion. Also adds an immediate additional monster onto your board. Also, this card is not treated as a trap card if you do special summon it, so you can go ahead and use it for some extra deck plays. Really good right off the bat there. We are getting another new trap card. So we're a new trap hole trap card. We have Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, which is a continuation of, I guess, the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. But anyway, so Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare is actually really cool card. So basically, if your opponent has a special summon monster, has special summoned a monster this turn, you can definitely activate this later on in the turn. You can target one monster your opponent controls with 2,000 or more attack, destroy it. Then, if you have a whole normal trap in your graveyard, you can banish one monster from your opponent's graveyard as well. So, also giving you access to banish cards from your opponent's graveyard is actually really good as well. I think this card would have been a little bit better in the previous format, back when Tier Element was a thing, because you can go ahead and, of course, just pop the Rukalos, banish a Tier Element from the graveyard, things like that. So I think that would have been really cool. So far, I still think it's worth running, because there are still some decks that do have graveyard interaction, graveyard recursion. I'm looking at you, Brandon Despia, and I'm also looking at you, Sprites. So next, of course, 3 Traptrix. Plain and simple. And to wrap off the extract with the 41 cards, I have 3 copies of Evenly Matched. So Evenly Matched, again, this deck is phenomenal already at going first. It just needs some help going second. So why not go ahead and play one of the best going second cards ever created in Evenly Matched, and then you can go ahead and just wipe your opponent's entire board and get it off a clean slate from there. But that's gonna be it for the main deck, guys. 41 card main deck, 18 monsters, 6 spell, and 17 traps. It is a trap trick deck after all, so I think it should be running more traps, but it sometimes for some reason this just feels right to me. Next, going on to the extra deck, we played 3 copies of Traptrix Sarah. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. 2 copies of Kularia. There you go. 3 of the new Link monster. We got Traptrix Adipus. You can need 2+ monsters, including an insect or a plant type monster for a Link 3 1800 attack. So this Link summon card is unaffected by Traptrix monsters, by trap effects in general. Cool. Does that mean you can use this with Torrential Tribute? Actually, I did not think I read that correctly. So let me go ahead and do it one more time. This Link Summon card is unaffected by trap effects. Very nice. Thank you so much. So all Traptrix monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you have a normal trap card in your graveyard. So this is actually 2800 attack. That's really good. Go ahead and have that right off the bat. So once per turn, you can target or face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of insect and plant type monsters you control. Negate their effects. You can apply this effect, banish one normal trap card from your graveyard, and if you do destroy one of those face-up target face-up cards. So being able to go ahead and have blanket just negation of your opponent's board. Again, this comes in handy, having as many additional extenders in your deck as possible. That's where cards like Vesicolo come in. That's where the Arachnocampa come in. Just being able to go ahead and special summon even more. Also, the field spell giving you again that additional normal summon. The more names you have on board, the better. And just it's like a snowball effect. This type of deck is so really good. I love that effect. Definitely. We got played 2 copies of Rafflesia and 2 copies of Alomeris. Once again, guys, you are getting the entire extra deck in this structure deck, so it's actually wild. You get to have an entire 15 card extra deck from 3 decks. But anyway, next for the last card in this deck, guys, we're gonna do 3 copies of the brand new Traptrix Pinguicula. So this being a brand new card, we're gonna go ahead and read together, guys. Basically, while this card has a material, it is unaffected by trap effects and activated effects of other monsters with the same type as this card's materials. So right off the bat, really good, unaffected by anything that would be this card's material. Same type, I should say, so any insect or plants, essentially, unless you have another type of extender, but I don't think, no, it's actually generic rank 4. Very nice. So I didn't see that earlier. As you can only use each of the following effects of Traptrix Pinguicula once per turn. You can detach one material from this card, add 1 Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand. If a monster in your possession, if a monster owned by your opponent is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you can attach one of those materials to this card. Just being able to go ahead and rip cards and attach them to you, that way your opponent cannot use them as further material, is actually really good. So just being able to have that additional interruption on board, pretty much not allowing your opponent to gain resources from us destroying their monsters, actually really key in any strategy. So that's gonna be it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Traptrix in the comment section down below. Is this deck competitively viable? Honestly, I think it has a lot of potential. Obviously, not with just 3 structure decks put together, but even with just 3 structure decks put together, I just want to go ahead and say this is actually a phenomenal way to go ahead and get people again into the game, to get people interested in the game, to give them really strong, high-powered cards for a fraction of what they used to cost as well. I mean, Ash Blossom was a $30 to $40 card as not too long ago. Evenly Matched as well was like a $25 to $30 card. Now they reprinted it and they reprinted it again, and now they're reprinting it in the structure deck. So really fantastic job, Konami, as well. Just being able to put as many, or not as many, just all the combo pieces that you're gonna need into the structure deck. I think this is gonna be really cool, and I'm excited to see what other people do with Traptrix. But we'll see. I digress. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys did enjoy, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe for more, ding that notification bell for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.